Soon as I saw Miyako in this chapter, I was just like, this is a win. This is a huge W for the oshinoko community, because honestly, I'm going to probably do maybe a hot take, could be a cold take, could be something that just everybody can agree with, whatever it may be. I think it has been criminal with just how underutilized Miyako and Ichi has been within this story of oshinoko, because let's be honest, these two characters are really integral to just the very origin of our two main characters, Aqua and Ruby, because they're basically the parental figures of the two characters. Even though Ichi obviously has taken a backseat and stepped out of their lives for the most part ever since Ai's death, these characters are technically what kind of helped Aqua and Ruby to be there to this very day after Ai's passing. And I think that soon as I saw this chapter shifting focus to these two characters, and it's very clear that, you know, these upcoming chapters is going to be focusing on them, I was like, this is going to be very interesting, because I'm glad to see our side characters really getting some development, because, to be fair here, as much as I really have been enjoying the community's reaction to the Aqua and Ruby stuff and all that, it's been hilarious. I'll talk about this in a second. I really am just happy to see side characters like, you know, Miyako, and also just like, you know, Ichi actually have some focus. And I think what really makes this, you know, entire ending sequence of, you know, the chapter so powerful is that we see Miyako break down in tears, and she starts to say, you know, I don't think they really see me as their mother and all that. And it's a very powerful moment, because it's very clear that she's probably always felt this deep down, but actually getting some confirmation from her within this chapter, and her expressing her feelings and even crying. She legitimately cries, and I think it's very powerful, because it's like, it showcases multiple things. How much she's changed since the beginning, like she was just wanting money, or she was pressured of taking care of two little kids and all that, and, you know, she's really grown and matured to managing a company, but also trying to be this mother figure that, you know, helps out, you know, Aqua and Ruby when they very much need it. She bends the rules of the company just to make sure, you know, that they're okay or happy or satisfied. It's clear that she's always thinking about them and wanting them to be happy, and I think we can all agree that, you know, Aqua and Ruby will never see Miyako as a mother. I mean, that's apparent. Just because of the overall focus and how, I guess, integrated Ai is within the plot of the story, Miyako will never be seen like that. She won't. She's just a stand-in mother, so to speak. And that's the truth. And she is very well aware of this just because of their overall attachment to their mother that died. And it's sad, but it's really interesting to see she is still trying her best to be that mother figure, and she really wants to give them the best possible future that she can give. It's beautiful, and I really like seeing that from her character. It's just so much maturity that she has went through over the years of the story, and I'm glad to finally get some more focus on her, and get to see kind of what she's going to do to make these two even happier than they already are. At least try to make Aqua out of that pit of depression that he's clearly in. But I do think that it's interesting just how everything went here, how she's, you know, under a lot of pressure as well. She's having to figure out how to maintain, you know, the work for Ruby. For instance, you know, allow her to, you know, go to school, allow her to be an actress, an idol, all of this. She's having to maintain Ruby's schedule, and it's really difficult for her. There's so much she's having to do, because one or the other, she's going to have to sacrifice something, a part of Ruby's schedule, just for her to be able to accomplish something else. And obviously, the movie to the idol work is very important, but there's just so much, because, you know, Ruby's in very high demand. People are requesting for her, wanting her to be a part of every project. She is highly sought after. And because of that, in terms of money and all that, and company-wise, you know, it's very clear that, you know, it's very lucrative for the company if Ruby gets more jobs. But clearly, that is not what Miyako wants. She's not just thinking from a money standpoint and trying to get as much as she can out of Ruby. She wants Ruby to be able to live, breathe, and not feel like she's overwhelmed. And I do like that. Once again, we get to see just the balance of her being a, you know, workaholic to a degree, but also someone that really does deeply care about the kids that she's been raising. So yeah, good ending part of this chapter. So, with that out of the way, let's scroll up to the top of, you know, the chapter, and let's look at what this chapter opened up with. Without context, if you were just to take a screenshot of this picture, and you were to edit out this little juice box, and then you were to read, "I'm beat, bro, give me your juice," the absolute insanity this panel causes is insane. It's legitimately funny, and it's very clear that Aka and Mengo have been trolling. Like, they're trolling to their the fullest. And it's funny. I legitimately have been laughing with these past few weeks just because of what has been going on. And seeing this, it does make me wonder if there was some liberties taken with the translation. Like, obviously this is an English translation, but I do wonder what the Japanese translation says, if it is actually accurate to this, or if there's some inaccuracies, because there's always, sometimes, depending when you translate from a different language, the overall, I guess, meaning can change. So I am curious if, this is the same in Japanese. But regardless, hilarious panel, and the chapter is very cute, honestly. You get to see how Aqua and Ruby are very clingy, or at the very least, Ruby's very clingy to Aqua, and Kana's reaction literally is the community. Like, okay, I gotta talk about this. I think this is what makes this so hilarious. Seeing these two just walk up and noticing Ruby being just so clingy to Aqua, and she's like, what's happened? What's going on? What's... She's just in complete shock. I mean, you see Mimsho in the back, she's like, huh? And as it continues and all that, and Kana's freaking out, she's like, why are you doing this, Aqua? Why are you indulging her? Just push her away, etc. Just stop doing this, stop being like, a sister complex person. She's just like, don't do this. And I love how Kana is literally like the voice of reason of the Kana and Akane fans, just like pointing at Aqua, like, don't do this, don't agree to this, just don't allow this. And then Mimsho's like, wait, hold up. Let him cook. the way the hand is like that, it goes into the other panel, and she's like, let him go, wait. And I that's what I think is just so funny, because, like, the way she acts is literally what I and many others have been doing for these past few weeks. Like, let Aka and Mengo cook with what's going on here. And she just goes out of her way to take a picture of these two out of context of, like, oh, it's a beautiful twin couple, makes a perfect picture. And I'm just like, yo! Mimsho, I love it, man. It literally is like the representation of the community. This panel really is that representation. Like, the Kana Akane fans just absolutely devastated right now, while Mimsho is the others that are just fanning the flames, cooking up that, gourmet meal, so to speak, of just everything that's been going on in the community. It's funny. This was an absolutely amazing panel just with what was going on. And, since we're on the topic of memes and stuff, there has been just so many memes from this, and I cannot get over it. It's so funny. Like this meme here with Kana, and then there was another one that someone posted. I posted a few days ago as well. This one as well. Save the Oshinoko, Kana Arima. Oh my goodness, I love these memes. These memes are just so good because, like, Kana is a representation of fandom that's like, don't allow this to happen. It's great. Okay, but memes and jokes aside, we got some really cute panels. Like, this is a very cute panel as well, regardless of memes and all that. I think it's legitimately adorable just seeing how happy Ruby is at this point, because she's been, surrounded in darkness and all that, and very unhappy for a very long time, and seeing her have one star in her eye, light in her eyes once again, it's very beautiful, just seeing her being able to overcome any obstacle before her. And I think that's a big segue into this chapter, honestly, because if we disregard everything else, we gotta think about just, like, what was being discussed by Kana in this chapter. She was saying that, Ruby is overwhelmed. She's having to do a lot, and she's having to, be an actor, she's having to be an idol, all these different things. Like, there's a lot of different projects that she's having to do, which goes into the, the Miyako stuff at the end of the chapter. But I think the big point of this is thanks to, having Ruby find out more about her sensei and know that Aqua is the sensei has allowed her to basically overcome any obstacle before her. I feel like because of the new happiness she's found and all that, she is willing to challenge anything and overcome it, because she's no longer stuck in that pit by herself. She's no longer isolated and, lonely. She does have someone that she can care about. I do think that is legitimately beautiful, and it is nice to see her character legitimately happy because of this. So that is something to really take away from all of this, regardless of whatever direction it goes. I am happy about that. Now, disregarding that, I do wonder what role Ruby's parents are going to play as the story continues, because I feel like the way this chapter kind of hints at things, eventually Ruby will encounter them once again, and Miyako, obviously being that mother figure, she wants to be a mother figure, is probably going to play a very important role going forward. I feel like there's going to be a point in the matter where Ruby's probably going to encounter her old mother, and then she's going to see Miyako, and she's going to walk up to Miyako and is like, you're basically my mom, and hug her or something. I could see something along the lines. That's not the exact way it's probably going to happen, but I could definitely see something similar to that happening, where she's just like, she looks at her mother, she realizes that was never her mother, or she basically disowns her, and looks at Miyako more as a mother, and hugs her or something. I could definitely see that being a big part of, the upcoming arc of the story. But, yeah, I just want to talk about Oshinoko. Very good chapter. Loved what happened here. But, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. Be safe. Stay healthy. Chibi out.